I have this water cooler that's in my house, and it just is so plain and basic. I want to get some measurements. First thing is the width, and then I'm going to get the height. What if I told you I could build something that would cover up the water cooler, like some shelves, something nice, by using only a 1x2 board for the whole project? Let's get started. I'm going to start by marking exactly across the front, and using my miter saw, I'm going to cut these 1x2s. You can use a handsaw. What I'm going to do is lay this all out exactly how I want. I need some space in the middle for the cooler, and then on the side is where my space is going to be for the shelves I want to build. Again, using my brad nailer, it's so easy to use. Just go ahead and nail down the front with the support beams. Then it's time to start building the sides. I'm going to again start with the 3-foot 1x2 and then use a 12-inch 1x2 to build out the sides, using a clamp where I need to hold it in place while I use the nailer. Now, this looks like the top, but I'm actually building the side. Using those slats, it's going to make a perfect design. Again, once I got them in place, using the brad nail with 1 1/4 inch nails and go through and put all of them in to hold them in place. Once I do that, it's time for the first shelf. I'm going to have 6 of these shelves in total. Again, using the scrap boards that I've cut off to make the sides, tops, and the shelves. Once I get the top all smoothed out, I'm going to nail these down also. These are only going to need 1 nail on each side. Then I will miter, and I promise I didn't mean to cheat, but this is a 1x3, not a 1x2. It actually is going to look a little bit better across the top and on the bottom for a baseboard. Once I get the whole thing put together, I want to give it a little bit of sanding along the sides to make it smooth and get rid of any blemishes. I'm going to go ahead and take my favorite stain, open it up. Make sure when you get your stain out that you stir it. Do not shake it. You're going to get all that loose stuff on the bottom. I use a towel instead of a brush because I feel like it gets a better coverage. And then I'm going to start putting all this stain on, and I can smooth it out. I can tell right now it's only going to take 1 coat. I'll keep applying this stain, making it look really nice. And then once it's all stained up, it's time to bring it in, and I'm going to set it in place right over the water dispenser. I'm going to go ahead and put my water jug on it and then set it up, decorate it, and look at this final project. It looks absolutely amazing. I took that old, boring water cooler, built all the way around it with some nice shelves, stained it, and look at this. It really brightens up the kitchen. And it's time to get that old cooler out. But this one has seen better days. In fact, it's pretty rugged. But we're going to fix it up and get ready for those barbecues and all the guests. First thing, we got to get the hinges off the back. Pretty simple with these ones. They just have screws that take them out. Otherwise, you have to cut them. Here's the thing though. You probably think we need a tape measure for this build. Not today. We can do this whole thing without the tape measure. So there it goes. Let's get that lid off. We're going to set it aside, but we're going to need it later. And let's grab some fence pickets. 6-foot cedar is what we need for this project. Now, take a piece of scrap wood, place it on the handle, and take your first fence picket. We're going to mark underneath. That is going to give our height that we need. We can cut 2 at a time if we need to. We need to cut a total of 8 of these. 8 will give us 4 legs because we're going to put 2 together. Now, the secret to this whole project is glue. Lots of wood glue. That's what it's going to hold it together while we staple it in place. Take 2 of your fence pickets, line them up, and we're going to go ahead and staple or nail or screw these in place. I happen to have a nailer, so it works perfect. Go ahead and go all the way down and make 4 pairs. Take 2 of those pairs and we're going to put them on the short end of the cooler. Once you get those lined up, make sure you make room for the handle. Then we're going to take our next scrap piece of wood and we're going to mark it out so we can join these legs together. Again, you can cut 2 at a time with any type of saw that you need. And here we are with the glue again. This glue is going to be strong. It's what holds it together and keeps the boards from warping. Line them up, 2 pairs of legs at a time. Use tiny little nails or staples and hold them together until the glue dries. Once that glue dries, I promise you it's going to be strong. Now, set up your pair of legs right there. Make sure it fits. If it does, let's put another board on. That way we can cover up the whole cooler. Also, let's go down towards the bottom. Make sure we put some there too. That's going to give it some support. Now it's time for the long side. We're going to put a board on the outside and cut it to fit. And we need 2 of them, just like the other side. Once we got those on, it's time to build the bottom. I turned the igloo over, put the cooler stand back up on its back, and screwed it into place instead of the staples. There's going to be a little bit of weight in that cooler, and we're going to make it super strong. Drop that cooler right into your project. It's looking good. Now we're going to put some sides on, a little bit of trim board. It's going to make it look really good. I had some scraps left over. Again, used the glue and the staples to put it together. Now it's time for the lid. We want the wood to be the exact same height as the lid of the igloo container. That way it goes on just nice. And I got lucky. I had some old pallet wood that I could mix and match with the cedar. I think it gave it some nice look to it, kind of mix it up a little bit. Once we get it on, glue and staples all the way around the edges. That's going to make this lid super strong. Now, take the lid off, both of them. And what we need to do is we need to take the lid and put it upside down because we need to fasten it to our new wood lid. Take some regular old wood screws, make sure they're not too long, and go ahead and screw them on. Then you're going to put it back in place, grab 2 small door hinges or cabinet hinges, and put those on. They're easy to do, no need for a pilot hole, just drill them back on. And guess what? I don't want to go ahead and use a regular handle. I've got some scrap wood. Let's make us a rustic handle to lift the lid. It's real simple. Using that glue and those nails, put them right on. It's going to look great. Can't forget, we need a bottle opener. Go ahead and put one of those on. Now it's time to drop the cooler in, get some ice, and your favorite beverages. Look at that. This thing just looks absolutely amazing. And I made a little lid catcher because I had to catch those lids straight from the bottle. For today's project, I'm going to use this free palette. Now, this is going to be a project you're going to want to wait to the end to see. I'm going to flip this over to the back because I need to cut it down because I only needed about 2/3 of its original size. Using a Sawzall, I'm going to cut the 3 main support beams right there. Once I get it cut, I'll separate it, and then I need to remove the boards that are in the middle, not the ones on the top and not the ones on the bottom. So I'm going to use a Wonder Bar here, pull it up, and they're pretty easy to take apart. Once you get most of the nails popped, just go ahead and pop it up. If there is any nails left over, you can just pull those over too. I go ahead and throw those away. They're just rusted old nails. Next, we're going to measure in between on the backside how much distance I need. This is going to need 2 support boards. Again, using recycled pallet boards from another pallet, I'm going to measure and cut these 2 boards. Now, when you are cutting pallet boards, be very careful where you cut. Sometimes there's staples and there's nails. So you want to make sure when there's little holes like that, you don't cut right down the middle. Once I get that cut, now I'm going to take the smaller pallet boards, and those are going to be my fillers. I'm going to cut all of those 40 inches wide because that's how wide the pallet is. I think I only need about 5 or 6, so I'll cut those down. Then I'll take the 2 support boards. I'm going to measure and make sure they're about 7 inches from the end. Both these boards need to be the same distance. It's going to look very much better if you do that. Then I'm going to put the bottom and the top pallet board together. All you need is 1 little small screw to go through. Make sure the screw is not too long. We don't want it popping out. Now, go ahead and take all your pallet boards, put them in the middle, and you're going to even out the distance on the gaps, make it look really nice. Then you're going to just take a screw on each side of the support and put it together. Now it's time to see if it fits. I'm going to go ahead and set it right into place, and oh, I was so excited. It fit like a glove. That definitely deserves a thumbs up to the camera for this one. Next step is to go ahead and put some hinges on. Remember those support boards? Well, that's what these hinges are going to attach to. We're going to put those on just to make sure that we can open and close this door on the pallet. Use 2 hinges, and look at that. It works amazing. I love it. Now we got to be able to secure the door. So just a little eye hook right there and put that in. And again, make sure you always pre-drill. Some of these boards are a little soft and we don't want to split them. So this one secures just right, and look at that. It's great. Also, I want to make sure when I open the pallet door that I don't open too far and it has a support. So I'm going to put these eye hooks in, and I'm going to use a chain. Once you cut the chain to size, just use a pair of pliers to put it back. Now it's time to secure it to the wall. Be very safe when doing this. But once I got it secured, look at that. It closes right up and it doesn't stick too far out. But here comes the surprise. You're going to love this. Once it opens, it's your little old pallet bar. Isn't that great? Just makes a little table for anybody and everybody to enjoy. I love it. I can store my drinks inside. I even put a bottle cap opener. I hope you loved this project as much as I did making it. And I gotta tell you, thank you for watching Home Talk, and we'll catch you next time.